course, I wanted to talk to you about the feeling of a hot summer day. And today it just happens to be so chilly and windy and overcast here that with the wind chill, I think it feels like it's about 6 degrees outside. I don't know the exact number, but it's somewhere around 6, which is uncharacteristic for this time of year, but also just lately we've had days where it feels like 32, 34, and today it feels like 6, and I'm bundled up in a sweater and I'm wearing leggings and socks, which feels very strange, but I'm going to try to connect with the feeling that goes with my original thought, which is hot summer day feelings. Everybody has associations and connections that they make with different music or colors or flavors and of course seasons. And starting at the very end of spring, I'd say, like as soon as it's really warming up outside and it feels like summer's coming, I immediately start craving corn, which is kind of weird because it doesn't even come into season until the very end of the summer. And so I don't know why, but as soon as it starts to really heat up outside, I'm ready for, tomatoes and zucchinis and corn. I pretty much spend the whole summer just waiting for that corn to ripen, and it feels a little bit like torture when you're driving pretty much anywhere outside of the city and there's just fields and fields and fields of it. And I know that corn is not actually the corn that we eat because it's less than 20% of the corn that is grown is actually for human consumption. So like 45% of it is for feeding livestock, and then the rest of that is for fuel and industrial uses. And then less than 20% is the corn that we eat. And then a big part of that corn even is for vegetable oil and corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup, which are all used in most processed foods. So a tiny, tiny percentage of that corn is actually for eating. Probably none of the corn that I see on the side of the road in these gorgeous, beautiful fields are actually the kind of corn that you can or should eat, but it doesn't matter. It's just like rows and rows and rows of it ripening in the sun, and you just want to reach out and grab it. And you can't, or you shouldn't. I never have, which actually surprises me, to be honest. Anyways, I love corn. I love it in like hearty dishes like stews and chilies and shepherd's pie. Obviously love like a classic corn on the cob, love popcorn, pretty much corn anything, corn tortillas, corn chips. Yeah, tortilla chips made of corn flour, so yeah, for sure. And then of course, I love, love, love corn on the cob in a Frogmore stew or a low country boil. Not that there are frogs or ever were frogs in it. It's just that the low country boil or Frogmore stew originated in a low country fishing town called Frogmore. But the original version does have a lot of seafood in it, and you can put vegan or plant-based seafood in yours if you want to. I'm sure I have before, probably with some vegan shrimp or something like that, but normally I just use veggies, which is what I did in the recipe that I'm about to show you. A traditional Frogmore stew or low country boil usually uses a traditional seafood seasoning blend or Old Bay seasoning. So I make my own blend, which is pretty much the same thing or has the same ingredients. And as you will see, there are so many different amazing flavors that go into this. So I always start with some either whole bay leaves, which I'll pull out later, or some ground bay leaf powder. And to that, I will add some celery seed. Again, you can use ground celery seed if you like. I used whole. I put some dry mustard powder. I put a blend of white and black pepper, ground of course, and some dried ginger. I add paprika. I prefer smoked
paprika. You can use sweet paprika if you like, or omit it altogether if you don't like it or you're allergic, but it adds like a great flavor, so if you like it, add it, along with some nutmeg and also some cloves. By the way, the recipe for this is at sweetvegan.net, so you can have all the exact measurements there. I add allspice and some red chili flakes. Some mace, some cardamom, and some cinnamon. So you see, it's very, very flavorful. It's amazing. The first thing that I'm gonna do is put some small whole, like really baby potatoes. I'll leave them whole, and some I'm adding some vegan sausage to mine to add flavor, and also because I had some in the fridge that needed to be used up. So basically you would put your seasoning in a pot of boiling water and add some beer to it if you want to. It's optional. I recommend it though if you are not avoiding alcohol. As I said, the recipe is on the website at sweetvegan.net, but you start with your spices and some beer in a big boiler pot, and you add your potatoes and your sausage if you're using plant-based sausage. And then the next thing that I will add to the pot is definitely going to be some onion of some kind. So I'll put red onion as well as some kind of squash. So patty pan I find are just adorable to look at, and I found these really adorable little mini zucchinis at the market, so decided I definitely had to put those in also. You just have to be mindful when you're making this of how long each vegetable takes to cook. It's kind of tricky timing. Like, you want to give the potatoes a chance to get a bit tender, but you don't want them to be already mushy or soggy before you put the next ingredients in. So this is definitely the kind of dish you keep an eye on. But when the potatoes do start to become a bit tender, that's when you would then add your squash and other ingredients. I also use Japanese turnip because I love them, and well, that's all the reason I need, really, isn't it? Also the onion probably you could put in at the very beginning if you wanted to, but I just wanted the potatoes and the sausage to soak up as much of the spices and the beer and stuff as possible first. This is how simple it is, because once your vegetables are also tender in the pot, your low country boil is ready to go. It's ready to serve. And traditionally, a Frogmore stew is just scooped out onto a big table in front of everyone who's eating it. The more the merrier, of course. And people just eat it just like that. And you can serve it with some coleslaw or some, what do you call those little guys? Hush puppies? No, the little cornbread or little cornbread muffins. We just ate ours the way it is because it's quite filling with the potatoes and the corn and the sausage and everything. But yeah, you just dump it out on some food grade paper and let people graze on it. I love this recipe so much, and I hope that you do too. I would love to know if you tried it or not, if you've already had it in the past, what you thought of it, what changes you made to it. I also would love to know what flavors and seasons bring up the most cozy memories or nostalgia for you. So please feel free to comment below. Thank you so very, very much for taking the time to watch this video. I love that you are here and that you're part of my community. And if you are a Patreon subscriber, thank you also for believing in me and what I'm doing, being such a big part of it and helping to make this channel possible. If you would like to work one-on-one with me for naturopathy or nutrition, online or in person, there is a booking link in the description below. I'll be back next week, and in the meantime, take really, really, really good care of yourselves. Bye.
Down in Louisiana, tall pine trees grow. There'll live a preacher daughter, and she knows how to jelly roll. And her papa wanna save my soul, but her sweet talking daughter, Lord, she loves to jelly roll. Yes, she